Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So I got some friends in town visiting. I got to get to here pretty soon. But Black Friday sale is ending. May take it through a little bit through Cyber Monday, as they call it, right? But I want to talk to you about not wasting your life away. And I've got a graph I'm going to share with you that a buddy of mine that got a stent put in his heart about 15 years ago. He realized how time is running out. And so I'm going to share that with you. And then I'm going to get out of here pretty soon. But you don't want to miss this, so stick around.
It's the best thing I ever did.
This buddy of mine, he has to have a stent put in his heart. And at the time when they did that, they figure you only got about 15 years left once you get those put in. And so he was doing a thoughtful, consideration of the rest of his life. And so I want you to look at this because this is really a cool thing, and it'll make you think. So I'm going to make a graph here for you. First of all, let's start with, let's make like 10 lines here. So and this is going to be quick and dirty. Okay, so look, we'll call this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We'll get one more. Look, you just don't know what your lifespan's going to be. But, so the things I want you to consider is how much time you've got before you're going to be too old to work. It could be, it could be anything. How much longer you're going to be able to run and hike with your kids. It applies to all that stuff. So these represent years in your life, this 10 through 80 age, right? So I'll give you an idea. So a graph I made a while back when I was on a vacation with my kids. So here I am at 50. Okay, and I got my wife that's like 40 at the time. Okay, and then I've got my kids. I got a 12-year-old. I've got about a 9-year-old, and then I got twin boys that are basically, 4 or 5. So we're on a vacation. And my two girls, these are the girls here, right? And they're fighting, and we're on we take a vacation like twice a year back then, and we take big, long ones, expensive ones too. And so my girls are fighting, and they're making me crazy, and I'm like, you're wasting my, you're wasting this precious time. And so I break out this chart, and I kind of explain to them, I said, look, I said, Kara, I said, look, you're 12 years old. I said, maybe we got, 6 years before you're 18. Okay, so 18 is going to be in 6 years. That's in 18, by the way. Let me see if I can fix that. So with Kara and my other daughter, I'm telling them, look, we might only have like 6 vacations left right here. We'll just put a 6 here. 6 vacations left in the next 6 years. And I go, and you're going to ruin this one? And because they're fighting too much. And it made them realize, because I said, she's going off to school in 6 years, and there ain't going to be no more. Not as a full family, not as a whole unit. And so, anyhow, they behaved for the rest of that week anyways. So it was pretty good for that. But this can apply to a lot of different things. If, let's just look at this graph, in a different way. Let's just say you're 50 years old, and you got 10 years left that you figure you can work before you want to retire, and now you want to think about how comfortable you can, right? So you've got, and of course this is where I'm selfishly inducing, you get involved with my mentorship because it's going to expire. And by the way, I'm running out of time myself. So there's this small window of time that you can be mentored by me that's going to go away because I ain't doing this forever. I enjoy it, but as soon as I stop enjoying it, I'm going to stop doing it. And so that was my book, by the way. And so those of you that are new here, I've been a very successful investor, made tens of millions of dollars, and I started when I was 19. I was a millionaire in the 80s, before I was 30. And I've got a mentorship, and I've got students that, like Jerry you see here, he just made over $2 million on one deal. And I've got plenty of other guys that are in here that have also made a lot of money. And we'll get back to this iPad in a second, but all these gentlemen you see here, and there's some women too that have done quite well. Some of these guys have made millions, others hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you go to flipanythingusa.com, you can listen to these guys, let them they can speak for themselves, and you'll see that it's real, and you can make a lot of money, and you can make it pretty quick. In fact, Ken here, he made about $1.4 million in 2.5 years, and he's like in his 60s. It's never too late, but you want to start. And so, I'll take any questions, but I'm going to be ramping out of here pretty quick. But just consider the chart that I just shared with you, because you know what, time flies, and wherever you're at on this chart, forget the girls, just say, you're here, you're at 40 years old, or you're at 50. You can make a significant amount of money in a fairly short time that'll make these remaining years, ahead of you, much, much more enjoyable. So, but if you don't do something, nobody's going to do it for you. Anyways, I'll show you guys real quick here. It's these kinds of assets that, is always the goal for me to get my students to get to. And, if you know my history, I've made, tens of millions of dollars in real estate, and with, various, I've gone through probably 60, 70 vacant pieces of property. I've made, in fact, let me see if I'll show you here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just jump around here because time's wasting for a lot of you. See, just think about this. These are apartment buildings. I made, almost $1 million just on this one property right here. And I made probably $500,000 on this one across the street. I made a couple $100,000 on this one. All three of these apartment buildings. And I only paid $210,000 for this one, $130,000 for this one, paid $400,000 for this one. And every time I bought them, they were worth more the day that I bought them than what I paid for them. And some of them I held for a while for cash flow. And then when I found a better deal to buy, like when I sold these, one of the reasons I sold these was to take the money and buy. I'll tell you what I did is I sold one of these, and what I did is I took that and I bought. I'll show you what I bought. So figure I made about $1 million on this one. And then I rolled that into another purchase to buy these 50 acres out here. And this was an abandoned trailer park in the front here originally. Now it's covered with houses. You're seeing before that was covered. You can see they got the road work down. They started building houses right here. All this property that fills the screen used to be mine. And I paid $210,000. So I took 20% of that $1 million I made on that apartment building, and I bought this piece of land, and now that property I made about $2.5 million on, and I turned it. And now that property that I bought with those monies, I still own some of them. I'll show you those. So you have to understand, things can go, time goes by quickly, and if you just make a couple of good moves, and they don't even have to be as grand or big as what I've got. How much would $1 million, change your life? DL, he bought 3 properties. He made $600,000 on each one, and the last one he made about $200,000 on. They're little commercial properties. Somebody's asking in the chat here. So it was those apartment buildings. Just a little piece of one of them led to me buying this. And then this property led to me buying, let me show you what else. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so that led to, the proceeds from that, I bought, this commercial center. You see here? The restaurant, bar, oops, it's right behind my head. Restaurant, bar, dry cleaners, alterations, tattoo shop, vape shop. And I bought other properties. I've had industrial buildings. This is this one I bought from something else. But just that one investment so figure about 50 grand is what got me into that apartment building. That apartment building made me over $1 million, which led me to the land. That land, and I'm buying other stuff at the same time. This is just one little pocket. So the apartment, it was a piece of land that gave me the money that bought the apartment. The apartment led me to have the money to buy that piece of land, and I only need a little piece of that. And then that piece of land led to the commercial strip center that I just showed you, right? This one right here. And then I bought, also when I bought that, I remember I had $2.5 million. So I bought that one, and I bought this property you see here. And now these properties together are worth about $7 million now. So that's 50,000 gave me the 210, which gave me $1 million and I took just a little piece of that. The other stuff bought other stuff. In other words, 50 grand basically led to $7 million right here, and that's how things can change very quickly for you. And look there's a freeway right there. Like I said, if you want to learn about flipping land, and I'm not talking about wholesaling. Wholesaling is something you fall back on as a crutch. It's a hedge, but it's not something you want to do as a living. It's just something you want to fall back on as a crutch to get rid of something, if you have to. But the real money is in buying and reselling. You want to be the owner, okay? So Lifeversity wrote, "Hey, Tom, it's... Oh, hey, a nudge. Good. Just joined mentorship, loving so far, but just wanted to inform you that the Flip Anything app won't work on newer Android devices." Okay. Yeah, I have an app, by the way, Flip Anything app. You can get it free for Android and for iPhones. It works perfect on the iPhone. There's too many different Android phones. It doesn't work on every Android phone, but the price is right? So look, hey, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You go take a look, go fill out the mentorship survey, go to flipanythingusa.com/Black Friday. Take a look at these testimonials. If you're sincere, I'll consider mentoring you. If you're not sincere, don't even waste my time or your time. But if you are sincere, take the time to fill out the mentorship survey. I'll have a talk with you. And, there's just so many things that can open up for you so quickly. And you'll never know if you don't stick your nose in and look. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is. But most people, guess what? Most people don't do anything. And time goes by, and then the next thing you know, you're too old you're too old and tired. Too old and tired to do anything. And that's the beauty of real estate is you can just point. You can just point. By the way, I'll be doing a video up here on Ryan Pineda. Ryan Pineda is talking about the time he lost millions of dollars in real estate. And coincidentally, I actually had made a video in advance of that telling him he was making a mistake before he made the mistake that he's talking about. You'll see here, and I'm not trying to rub his nose in it and with I told you so, but this is the thing. Experience. When you have somebody with experience, you don't make these kinds of mistakes. And anyways. So, but you may want to watch these videos on Ryan Pineda. He did a thoughtful video. I watched the whole thing yesterday or last night. He did a very thoughtful video, and he's still going to make more coming, I'm sure. But he was honest and sincere, and I appreciate the video he made. And I'll be making a video, to talk about that. But the very things that he made the mistake on buying are the properties that I discussed in these videos. And you know, I just didn't think. Anyways, that's another story. Anyways, but if you want to learn how to, obtain investments like this, I mean, these kind of investments bring hundreds of thousands of dollars, a year each in rents. I've got properties all over, offices. These are all things that I've owned. Every one of these blue dots. This is a beautiful building I own. This one I've had for over 20 years. These are the kinds of assets that, that pay big money, And this is what you can do if you do it right. DL, land is expensive where I am. Good. And I am, and in development costs millions and years of experience. Well, I just told you how to get started. Get my book. Get my book. And if you're qualified, I'll take you in the mentorship, but apply. And but get some skills. You need to learn how to make money in the real world, with your hands or whatever you're good at. Hopefully you can make some money doing something. And because if you have a job or if you're self-employed, listen, all you self-employed people, you maybe got $100,000 or $500,000 in the bank. That ain't gonna take you far enough. You need to parlay that into real estate. You need to buy investments that go up in value far faster than you're ever going to save, and bring you in hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in rent. I have that already. I've had that for a long time, and you can get there. A lot of people don't realize they can get there, but my students have quickly found out that they can, and I urge you to look at the stories on here and see the students. And anyways, I am going to go have some fun with my visitors. And again, hit that subscribe button, and look forward to seeing you guys in the mentorship, and or at least apply for it, and I'll be happy to talk with you. But this Black Friday sale's running out. You'll never get it lower. Be sure to get a copy of the book when you get a chance. Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. It's also one of the questions that'll be on there, as if you already ordered the book. Thanks for watching. See ya. You want to learn how to make millions of dollars in real estate? I've made tens of millions over my lifetime, and I'm showing people how to do it. Get in my free webinar. I have it every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Go to the link below, flipanythingusa.com/webinar. Sign up for it. You can talk to me face-to-face if you want. Don't waste any time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You don't want to miss my channel. I've been doing it for years.